but also acknowledging that Parliament is essentially a place where ideas are meant to be discussed.
Parliament, you said, you saw a positive outcome because of independence. There's a change of, the conversations you're having. But how do you bring about the change of decibel level, reducing it down a bit when the idea of throwing, slurs and language, how do you make it more civil or how do you make it, the time should be spent more towards, let's come together and solve the problem rather than, pointing fingers and then being as noisy as I can be or finding a good new terms which are being used and then throwing on the other side. And then who can be the best? And there is no winning war in that. Nobody wins. How do we move away from, kids in kindy or year ones giving, doing that thing, going away from that nagging to more civil conversations?
Have a wider group of people representing the country. Have people who come from other workplaces where that behaviour is completely unacceptable and who actually have the capacity and the courage to stand up and say, this is my workplace, this is unacceptable. But also acknowledging that Parliament is essentially a place where ideas are meant to be discussed, but having the tone of that discussion, the more people you get in there who have come from different backgrounds, who have different ideas, who have different ways of interacting, and who are willing to stand up and say, no, this is not the way to behave. That's how you get change. It's not going to happen overnight, because I can tell you, I've been a surgeon for 30 years. And when I went into surgery, surgeons were primarily men in blue suits who behaved badly. That's changed. As more and more people have come into the system and who have stood up and said, no, this is not the way to behave, you gradually get change. And that's what I would hope to see in Parliament.